Well, there was a lot of explosive plays on both sides of the ball. Felt like we kind of got off to the slow start, which didn't help anything, and then they kind of jumped out to a lead on us, and then we fought back. Returned the kickoff for a touchdown. That was a big play. Got back within 7, and kept fighting. Went down. Uh, Halftime, we were down by 14, but we knew we were going to get the ball first, second half, and come out and score in the second half, and cut it back to 7, and then just kind of back and forth there in the second half, and just couldn't quite get it done in the end. But felt like obviously Eastwood had a good football team, and to me, the quarterback and the running back, they were even better than advertised. The quarterback was a really strong, hard runner, threw the ball, well. He was very accurate as well. Running back was really quick and fast, explosive, and we had a hard time tackling him. I felt like uh, from our point of view, I felt like it's kind of the same story. Offense. We were able to create some plays with Tyler and Jacob and some of our receivers um, for some explosive plays that allowed us to score some points. I was a little disappointed in the fact that we weren't able to kind of keep our drives alive. We had to punt a couple times when it'd have been nice to keep our drives going. And then, defensively, kind of the same story, really. We missed some tackles that, basically allowed them to big play us. They hit a couple 3 times. They hit the running back up the seam on big plays. That was tough because they were running quarterback ISO, and that was by far their number one run play. And then here all of a sudden it's the same action, and the running backs, right up the seam. And so that was a tough play to defend, and obviously they did a good job executing it. But, overall, proud of our kids, proud of the effort that they showed all year, proud of the resiliency that they showed all year. And, unfortunately our season came to an end, and, we wish that we would have been able to keep it going.
And this is your second year as the head coach. Both seasons ended in losing streaks and losing in by district, but better record this year. Like, how do you feel? Like, do you think the team improved from last year to this year?
Well, I hope so. I feel like we got better this year. We were healthier for one thing. Last year we just got decimated with the injury bug throughout the course of the season, and it was just hard to kind of overcome those injuries that we sustained last year. This year we stayed healthier, but we had a good group this year. It was a lot of fun to coach these guys, and we had a lot of fun times together. So I felt like overall we got better. Felt like we maybe could have won 1 or 2 more games this season. I wish we would have, but we didn't quite get the job done. But overall, you never like to lose, especially in by district. The hope is to continue to play, but the fact that we were able to make the playoffs again this year, that's no easy feat. And I told our kids this morning something that they need to be proud of, that they were able to continue the tradition of making the playoffs.
You mentioned hoping you had won another 1 or 2 games. I'm sure that you're talking about towards the end of district. And really, I mean, feels like you're like right there. Almost you're just not quite getting it done with those teams yet. So what needs to happen to kind of get over that hump to get a district championship?
Yeah, we just gotta kind of be better in all phases, really. I mean, up front, offensive, defensive line. I mean that we've got to play better in those areas. Um, uh, Open field tackling. We've got to get better at that. Um, so it's hard to pinpoint just one thing. I think there's several things we can improve on, and we're constantly trying to improve. I mean that's something that we are constantly trying to do and to improve in all facets of our program. And so there's certainly some work to be done, and we're gonna start our 2023 season tomorrow morning. So we're gonna start preparing tomorrow morning, and really there's no time off. It's starting to get ready for next year right now.
Can you talk a little about your senior class? Every class is different. Talk about how this one was and maybe some of the players that you'll remember, and especially players maybe that stepped up, that have been in the program one time, that stepped up and became players that maybe you didn't even expect to become a player, maybe when they were in middle school or
Yeah.
starting off in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, usually that happens. Somebody who you kind of least expect to step up and play for you. You know, seems like every single year you have somebody that comes and steps up. But it was a good group, the senior class this year. I mean, we had a bunch of seniors. I think there was 42 or 43 seniors that played this year, and so it was a big group. And it was a good class. It was a lot of fun to be around those kids day in and day out. I mean, they certainly embodied our core values, and came every day trying to get better. And so I'm certainly appreciative to them for that. I got to speak to just the senior class this morning, and just kind of told them, like, I appreciate everything that you've done for our program, and I hope that the things that you learned throughout the course of your career in football will help you, the rest of your life, because really that's really what we're after. I mean, we're trying to prepare these young men for life after football. Really that's kind of what it's about. So, our hope is that they take the lessons that they learned throughout the course of their football career and apply them to their life as they get older, and that's something that we hope that they do. And so, there were several to your question about, who surprised me. The first one that comes to my mind is James Burney. James Burney was a kid that really played fantastic for us this year on the defensive line. He was our most steady performer, most solid guy at defensive tackle. And, when he was a freshman in high school, he didn't really want to go through an off-season workout. I mean, we had to beg him and plead with him, and it was everything that we could do just to get him to go through an off-season workout and to finish the workout. And to his credit, he stuck with it. He stuck with it, and he had some good support from his family at home, and they wanted him to stick with it, and he did. And because he stuck with it, and he kept showing up, and he kept competing, and he kept trying, and because of that, it got him to where he is today, and that was a big part of our football team this year. And so I'm proud of James Burney. That's just one example. I could tell you several others, but when you ask that question, that's the first one that comes to my mind.
Coach, looking forward to next year, same kind of thing. Are there any players that you expect to be the next stars, or are there any players that we need to watch out for?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be several. We're gonna we got a few guys returning on the offense and defensive side, but it's not many. It's going to be a lot of our younger kids that we're going to rely on next year, and not a lot of those kids have a lot of varsity experience. So they're going to have to grow up quick, and we hope to have the best off season we've ever had, and start preparing these guys, right now for our 23 season. And so we got a lot of work to do. I addressed the team this morning, talked to all of our underclassmen after I was able to talk to the seniors, and kind of got them in here and just said, we're fixing to go to work, and you need to be ready, and this is a big commitment. And so, we need you to show up every day and have a great attitude and get better. And so that process is going to start tomorrow. And so to answer your question, I mean, really and truly, it's too early to tell. I mean, there's going to be several new faces out there in 23, and they're going to have to step up and perform when fall rolls around.
You say it's too early. Can you talk about possibilities at quarterback since Tyler's, he started 2 years. He's going to be graduating?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, certainly Christian English is going to be a possible candidate. He was our JV quarterback all year. He started all 10 games for the JV and did a good job. Played well this season. Got hurt as a freshman, so didn't get much opportunity to play as a freshman because he was out most of the year with a hurt hand. And so, but this year he did some really good things and some things that were very impressive. Obviously he's going to have an opportunity. And then Tyler's little brother, Colton Hill, was our freshman quarterback, and he had a good season as well. So, really it's at the early stages. It's those two guys along with several others that we had on our JV and freshmen that are going to get the training. You know, that's one thing that we do in our off season is we put our quarterbacks through extensive training. We call it quarterback school, but we'll start that as early as February 1. And, you know, we'll start training those quarterbacks for next season. And so every one of those guys will have an opportunity, but, you know, those two are the ones kind of in the forefront right now.
Talk about starting the off-season tomorrow. I think everybody is aware, you know, they know about spring training and 7-on-7 summer practice and all that, but what goes in, like right when you're starting now?
Yeah, so the way we attack it right now is starting tomorrow and the rest of this week, we'll get lifting maxes and running maxes where we test in the bench, squat, power clean, incline, and then we time their 40s, we time them in a 200, we time them in a 50-second run, and so we'll get all that data collected, and we like to see kind of where they're at to start with, and then we kind of rank them, you know, based on those lifts and runs. We rank them into a power ranking, and you know, that way we kind of know where they stand, and then after that, after we max this week, then we'll finish the rest of the school year or the 2022 year off by just really lifting heavy, and every day we'll lift. And so we're trying to get a good base going into the holidays. Once we get back from the holidays, you know, it's lifting plus running, and then powerlifting season, track season, baseball season, you know. So we encourage our athletes to do more than one thing. We want them involved in basketball or soccer or baseball, or if you're not doing any of those, then congratulations, you made the track team. And so, you know, we want them competing year round, and so they're going to be asked to do those things, and on top of lifting weights and stuff in the morning. So they're going to have plenty on their plate, and you know, we're going to see who really wants to play, you know, next year. It's going to be a competition at each spot, you know, and we'll see who rises to the top.